Hello, this is Sondra Baras, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Shabbat Shalom, our weekly Torah Portion classes. Today's Torah Portion is Vayikra. It begins with the first verse in Leviticus. We are now starting a new book in the 5 books of Moses, and it begins Vayikra, and he called, and of course we're referring to God who calls to Moses and begins with what becomes throughout a few Torah portions, a list of instruction with regard to sacrifices. Now, what I want to explore today is kind of an overview. What are sacrifices? What is their purpose? I think today, as modern people who are living in the 21st century, it's very difficult for us to relate to this idea of sacrifice. Certainly sacrifice as a means of worship. If you think about it, most of us who eat meat, we don't have any connection even with slaughtering of the animal. We go to the supermarket and we buy a piece of meat nicely wrapped in cellophane, and we take it home and we put it on the grill or we put it in the oven, and that's meat. In the ancient world, of course, people, if they wanted meat, they went and got an animal and they slaughtered it, or a chicken, or whatever it is they were going to be eating. So what may seem to us very difficult to comprehend as a matter of positive ritual, this idea of slaughtering an animal was actually probably something very natural to people of the ancient world, for whom slaughtering an animal was just part and parcel of getting ready to eat. In any case, though, there's one thing to say we can get used to the idea of slaughtering an animal if we want to eat meat. There's quite something else to say that slaughtering of the animal has some sort of ritual or spiritual significance. And so what I want to look at today is exactly what is the meaning of these sacrifices, what message can we glean from this whole idea of sacrifices as presented to us in Leviticus, and what do we take from this idea today. So first of all, before we start talking about the sacrifices themselves, I want to repeat something that we said as we were discussing the portions of Exodus that discuss the tabernacle, that actually there are 2 aspects of the tabernacle that we have presented to us in Scripture. One aspect is one that is the primary focus of the chapters in Exodus that talk about the tabernacle, where there is almost no mention at all of sacrifice, but rather of how to build the tabernacle, of the role of Aaron, the high priest. And there the focus is on the tabernacle, which serves as a place where God and man meet, where man comes to seek God, to learn from God, and where God and man come together in the tabernacle. In Leviticus, on the other hand, we are also talking about the tabernacle. All of the sacrifices that are described here are sacrifices that will actually be brought in the tabernacle and later on in the temple in Jerusalem. But here, the focus on the tabernacle is on the sacrifices themselves, on the actual method of worship through sacrifice that takes place in the temple, and that is the focus of Leviticus, of a great deal of Leviticus, and it's really why we are going to be focusing today on what is a sacrifice, what's the purpose of a sacrifice.
To watch this program in its entirety, go to www.glc.us.com or simply click the link below.